Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Yeah, Prasanti Mataji, whenever you're ready, we can start Mataji with prayers.
Sure, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Sri Prabhupada and Gurudev. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Today we are in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 66, Paundaraka the False Vasudeva, from text 1 to 14. Text 1. Sukadeva Goswami said, O king, while Lord Balarama was away visiting Nanda's village of Vraja, the ruler of Karusha, falsely thinking, I am the Supreme Lord Vasudeva, sent a messenger to Lord Krishna. Text 2. Paundaraka was emboldened by the flattery of childish men, who told him, You are Vasudeva, the Supreme Lord and Master of the universe, who have now descended to the earth. Thus he imagined himself to be the infallible personality of Godhead. Text 3. Thus slow-witted King Paundaraka sent a messenger to the inscrutable Lord Krishna at Dwaraka. Paundaraka was acting like an unintelligent child whom other children were pretending is a king. Text 4. Arriving in Dwaraka, the messenger found lotus-eyed Krishna in his royal assembly and relayed the king's message to that almighty Lord. Text 5. On Paundaraka's behalf, the messenger said, I am the one and only Lord Vasudeva, and there is no other. It is I who have descended to this world to show mercy to the living beings. Therefore, give up your false name. Text 6. O Satvata, give up my personal symbols, which out of foolishness you now carry and come to me for shelter. If you do not, then you must give me battle. Text 7. Sukadeva Goswami said, King Ugrasena and the other members of the assembly laughed loudly when they heard this vain boasting of unintelligent Paundaraka. Text 8. The personality of Godhead, after enjoying the jokes of the assembly, told the messenger to relay a message to his master. You fool, I will indeed let loose the weapons you boast of in this way. Text 9. When you lie dead, O fool, your face covered by vultures, herons, and vata birds, you will become the shelter of dogs. Text 10. When the Lord had thus spoken, the messenger conveyed his insulting reply to his master in its entirely. Lord Krishna then mounted his chariot and went to the vicinity of Kashi. Text 11. Upon observing Lord Krishna's preparations for battle, the mighty warrior Paundaraka quickly went out of the city with 2 full military divisions. Text 12 to 14. Paundaraka's friend, the king of Kashi, followed behind, O king, leading the rear guard with 3 Akshauhini divisions. Lord Krishna saw that Paundaraka was carrying the Lord's own insignia, such as the conch shell, disc, sword, and club, and also an imitation Saranga bow and Srivatsa mark. He wore a mock Kaustubha gem, was decorated with a garland of forest flowers, and was dressed in upper and lower garments of fine yellow silk. His banner bore the image of Garuda, and he wore a valuable crown and gleaming shark-shaped earrings. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Please forgive me for mistakes in between the words. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prasanti Mataji, for reading the translations. Dear Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Whenever you're ready, you can please share, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you Prabhuji for confirming. Thank you Sunan Prabhuji for giving me this opportunity, and thank you Prashanti Mataji for reading the translation today. Let me offer my prayers. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutar Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukum Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayat Giri Yat Kripatam Aham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for attending this discussion. And thank you, Prabhuji, for giving me this opportunity to purify my tongue and purify my heart. So today we are going to discuss the chapter 66, the Pundrika, the false Vasudeva. In the last chapter, we have seen like how Balramji visited the Vraja, and then he enjoyed his pastime with the gopis. And we need to understand. I mean, I was surprised when I was reading the sequence of this chapter, how these chapters are related to each other. So first, let's understand who is Pundrika and why he's claiming himself a Vasudeva, so that we can connect the dot how these two chapters are related together. So King Pundrika was a king of Karusha, a place called Karusha. And let's go back in the 10th canto, in that scene when there was a marriage between Shishupal and Rukmani Devi was taking place. So there was a lot of king participated in that marriage ceremony, and one of the king was also King Pundrika was there. And if you remember that scene when Rukmani Devi was coming out of the temple, and a lot of kings who are having a enjoyment tendency in their heart, who want to enjoy the beauty of Rukmani Devi, at that time they fell down from their chariot, from elephant, from their horses, because they were completely bewildered by the beauty of the Rukmani Devi. And one of the king was Pundrika also, who was bewildered by seeing the beauty of Rukmani Devi. And then soon we saw in that pastime like how Krishna took away the Rukmani Devi, he abducted the Rukmani Devi and leave that place. And then these king chased down to Krishna to stop Krishna from taking Rukmani Devi away. But soon Balram ji and the army of Yadus stopped all these kings. And then there was a fight between them, and Balram defeated most of the kings, all the kings, and then they ran away. They flew away from them. And Balram defeated the king Pundrika also at that time. And then we saw the story in that past time, like Shishupal was completely disappointed and disheartened. But at that time, Jarasandha counseled him. Jarasandha consoled him by giving his own example that he was also defeated 17 times, and every time he thought of quitting the kingsmanship, quitting his responsibility and go to forest. But somehow or other, some other king met him in between and console him. Oh, you should not leave the battle. You should fight again with the Krishna. It's because of the time you could not win. But you could win if you fight again, and this time I will also join your army and then fight against Krishna. And that's how Jarasandha consoled Shishupal. And Jarasandha mentioned to Shishupal that I fought 17 times, and 17 times I was defeated, but 18th time I won the battle. And that's why he was trying to console. And he mentioned to Shishupal that 18 times saints and astrologer predicted that I'm gonna win, and I told them, if I'm not gonna win, I'll kill you all. And then Krishna was aware of that fact that, oh, now the life of saints and astrologer is in danger, so that's why Krishna ran away. The Sukadev Goswami and other acharyas explain in the commentary, like that's why Krishna ran away to Dwaraka, that so that he can save the life of saint and astrologer. So now Shishupal got the consolation from the Jarasandha. But what about Pundrika? King Pundrika was completely devastated by this defeat from Balramji. As a Kshatriya, he was not able to accept that defeat, and he was completely morose, and he was thinking he should quit the kingly responsibility. And in the material world also, we can connect with the same example. If we trying to achieve something so desperately, and if we could not achieve that thing, we also feel disappointed and disheartened, and we don't know how. And then sometimes we need a counseling on those in those situations, because we feel depressed. How to So similar situation happened to King Pundrika. He could not tolerate the defeat from the Lord Balram. So now, and Pundrika decided then he should quit. He should quit his kingdom. He should quit all his role and responsibility, what he was doing, and he should go to the forest. That's what he decided. But then, when this news was spread in his kingdom, then all the ministers and associate was fearsome. They thought, who will take care of us? If king will leave his responsibility, then who will take care of us? Then they thought, okay, let us do something so that we can encourage the King Pundrika so that he can continue ruling the kingdom. But um, but King Pundrika was under the influence of three modes of material nature. He was completely devastated. He was completely in the mode of ignorance, and he wanted to leave his kingdom, because in this material world, every living being is under the control of the three modes of material nature, and these three modes are controlling us like a puppet with the three strings of each mode. Sometimes we are in the mode of passion, ignorance, or goodness, and we live our life by forgetting our real identity, that we are the servant of Krishna, and we think we are the doer, we are the controller. And that's where in the Bhagavad Gita 3.27, Prakriti Kriya Manani, like we are bewildered by these three modes and think we are the doer, while we forget the reality, ground reality, that Krishna is the doer and we are the part and parcel of Krishna, and we are not a center of but we are thinking as a material world, out of our false ego, that we should be in our center. We should be always in the center rather than Krishna. But as a devotee, when false ego turn to the true ego by the purification of the heart, by chanting and mercy of Guru and Krishna, we understand our true ego, that we are the servant of Krishna. So what has happened? These minister and associate devise a plan. Then how can we encourage the Pundrika? So what they did, they reminded Pundrika about all his great activity, what he did in the past. They reminded him, but they could not convince Pundrika. Pundrika was still very disappointed and disheartened, and he was not at all encouraged. Then they discuss again what to do. How can we tackle this situation? Then they devise a plan. Let's call him. He's a supreme controller, and then they use the flattery language. Oh, Pundrika, you are the supreme controller. You are the real Vasudev. And day in, day out, they start calling him a real Vasudeva. And then this time, Pundrika was a bit convinced. Oh, really? I'm the real Vasudeva? And then they are making him believe, because 24/7, every associate, every minister are feeding this. eventually these minister and associate was trying to cure the illness of the mental illness of the Pundrika, but they started feeding the poison into the brain of the Pundrika. If you look at an example, if suppose a person is ill, so what he will do next step, he will go to the doctor, and doctor will prescribe the medicine. And then, but doctor will prescribe the medicine and prescribe the doses, and then according to the doses and prescribed medicine, person has to take the medicine. But a person, an intelligent person, a foolish intelligent person may think, okay, doctor has given me the course of I need to take these antibiotics for next 7 days, one tablet a day. Why don't I take all the tablets in the day one itself so that I can cure fast? And if person try to do this, what will happen? Eventually, he will not cure his illness. It will create another reactions in his body. So similar situation happen. These immature minister and associate of Pundrika, they try to heal and they try to encourage the Pundrika, but what they end up doing, they poison the brain of the Pundrika. And now Pundrika start believing that he is Vasudeva. They wanted him to start believing because they were using this flattery language, because they were thinking about their own welfare. Because if Pundrika will continue ruling the kingdom, then it will be for their benefit. They will get the protection, they will get the security, financial security, everything. So that is what the thought process behind it. And Pundrika thought, no, yeah, I am the real Vasudeva. And then Pundrika, they told Pundrika, because now Balramji is in sitting in right now Vraja, and it is a golden opportunity for you to send your messenger to the Dwarka and tell that you are the real Vasudeva. Krishna is faking it out. So that is what they told him. And they are also telling to make him more convinced. They told, you remember when Krishna was born, he went into the incognito. He was scared of the Kamsa. That's why he left the Mathura. He born in Mathura, but he left to the Gokul and live in the Gokul and in the incognito mode so that nobody can recognize him. You remember, Krishna doesn't have anything to feed himself. That's why he steals the butter from the other's house. You remember that Krishna went to Dwarka. He's living in the middle of the ocean because he's scared of Jarasandha. He left the war, he left the battlefield to run away from the battlefield because he was scared of you and he's scared of Jarasandha. That is how these ministers and associate feed the brain of the Pundrika so that Pundrika can believe he's a Vasudeva so that he can continue to rule. They were trying to encourage, but they were so foolish that they feed so much poison in the brain and heart of the Pundrika. And now they are telling, send your messenger because this is a golden opportunity. You remember during the marriage of Rukmani, what happened? Balramji defeated you because Balramji is powerful, but Krishna ran away seeing you. And then Balram protected Krishna at that time. Now Balram is not present there. This is the right opportunity. Send your messenger. Send your messenger. And then if you send your messenger, it is the right opportunity. Krishna will give all those opulences, all those symbols which he is carrying, which belongs to you, but he is carrying unnecessarily. And ask Krishna to shelter you because you are the Supreme Personality. He should take a shelter of yours. So that's how they are feeding him. So now let's come to the today's text. And before we go there, I think this is if you look at in our material world, most of us having a mini Pundrika in our heart. Because out of deep ignorance and false ego in our modern society, we are thinking that we are the doer of this task. We are the achiever. But we forget whatever thing we are doing extraordinary, whatever thing we are experiencing or achieving extraordinarily, it is the mercy of Krishna. Because Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, he is a ability in man. He is he is the source of intelligence. He is the source of remembrance. He provides the remembrance, intelligence, forgetfulness in us. And if we don't want to give the credit, if we do something extraordinary task, we are stealing the credit from Krishna because everything is provided by Krishna. Suppose if we won some kind of beauty contest and we thought, oh, we are so beautiful, that's why we won this contest. But who gave us this beauty? Krishna gave us a, we forget that at that time because of our ignorance, our false ignorance. And we think we are the proprietor of this world. So, and then how can we, get away from this mentality? By 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 the right association. Pundrika was having a completely bad association. But if we get the right association, right people, then because association matters the most. Our association defines our personality, our consciousness. Sometimes, because our heart is full of impurity, we see the world as as we are. We don't see the world as the world is it, as the world it is. We never able to see the world as it is because we see the world from the lens of our heart. And if our heart is dirt, having so much dirt, we cannot identify the true nature of this world. We will identify, and we have seen that like lot of time, we when we interact with devotees or interact with different people, we started seeing a fault finding mentality. Oh, this person is behaving like this. Oh, we observe that part kind of their behavior, and we think, yeah, this person is so egoistic, this person is so selfish. And we trying to think a person as we are seeing them based on our ability, not the person how a person is he. So it's a subtle thing because we are seeing the person from the lens of our heart, and right now our heart is completely impure because of the kam, krodh, lobh, bhai, mad, matsar. Because of these impurity, we are seeing as we are, and then we are finding the fault on the person. So if we have a right association with the right people who will coach us, who will make us humble rather than make us proud, who will make us tolerant, who will realize us what is the goal of this life, who will realize us what should we do to become humble, uh, and how can we achieve our goal. So we should associate with such people. So let's quickly go through the verses. I think not many verses has a purport. So in the text one, Pundrika waited for Lord Balram to leave before acting, because foolish individual often strike when they think, okay, now opponent is isolated. Now I should attack. I can win. This is an opportunity for me. Even though they never gauge the power of the opponent, they think that they can win. That is a foolishness. Because Balram was in the Vrindavan, so they thought, okay, now let me send my messenger. So here in the verse, if you look, it's a agyan. Agyan means foolishness or ignorance. So in the text too, now Pundrika believed because of the flattery language of his associate, yeah, he is the real Vasudeva. So he is the real Vasudeva. He is the controller of this universe, and because of him, this earth descended. And then he imagined he is the infallible God. So he is good to send a messenger because he is the supreme controller. Krishna should not fake out anything. So in the verse, the word is called asat sangha because his mindset believe that he is the supreme lord because of his bad association. So we need to be, as a practicing devotee, we need to be very careful whom we are associating in our day in and day out. Because if we are taking a bad association, then it will lead our downfall in this material world. And then text 3, Sukadeva Goswami is telling, now the Pundrika sent a messenger to the inscrutable Lord Krishna at Dwarka. So now in the text 1 also, Sukadeva Goswami said that Pundrika sent a messenger. Here he is repeating again that Pundrika sent a messenger. He is emphasizing this word, Pundrika sent a messenger. The reason being, this great sage, Sukadeva Goswami, is not able to believe how foolish this Pundrika is. How come he can send a messenger to claim that he is a real Supreme Personality of Godhead? He's not able to understand how foolish this Pundrika is, how childish his associates are, that they can make him believe that he is a Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in the next verse, text 4, now his messenger, Pundrika messenger, arrived in the Dwarka, and then in the verse it says Krishna Kamal Patraksha, means when his messenger saw the lotus-eyed Krishna, it reflects the real divinity. It reflects the real divinity of Krishna. And then when he thought in his brain that he is trying to pass the message of Pundrika, who is a cheap person, he was imitating the original Krishna by his false makeup and getup. But he has to follow his master instruction. So in the royal assembly, he passed his message in the front of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. And then text 5, now messenger passed the message of the Pundrika, and now Pundrika is saying, I am the one and only Lord Vasudeva who has descended to this world to save this world. And I am the one who show the mercy to all the living being in general. So therefore, you, O false Krishna, you should give up all your identity. You are not a real Vasudeva. I am the real Vasudeva. You are carrying my name as your false name. You should give up this thought process. In the purport, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given that Saraswati ji said in the tongue of this messenger, and then it gave the completely different meaning. Our Acharya has given the different meaning of this verse completely. Now let's look at the version, what our Acharya is telling. Now Pundrika is saying, I am not the Vasudeva. I am not the real Vasudeva. Krishna, you are the only real Vasudeva. There is no one else the real Vasudeva. You are the protector of all being in general. You are the complete divine protector of everyone. Please make sure, help me out so that I can give up my false prestige, give up my false identity, and I can surrender to you. I can get the liberation. Please help me understand. Please help me fulfill my request. That is how Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur explained. Because envy in our heart make us project our flaws, which is sitting in our heart, onto the others. We think that others are having this fault, but eventually faults are sitting in our heart. In the next verse, text 6 talk about, now text 6 talk about, now messenger is again saying, now give up all your symbols, Shankha, Chakra, Padam, Padma, Gada. All these symbols, it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to my master Pundrika. You are unnecessarily carrying this. So, but it's all out of foolishness. Now here also, Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is saying, Pundrika is pleading to Krishna to vanquish his false ego and liberate him. And so, as we discussed the example, in the life, we always take the credit of we are thinking it's our ability. It's because of we are doer and we achieve this. But it's all because of Krishna mercy. We forget that mercy because of our ignorance. In the text 7, it's talk about, now Sukadeva Goswami said that now King Ugrasena and other member of the assembly started laughing loudly. And they are thinking how foolish this Pundrika is. Unnecessary, he is boasting. He is completely unintelligent. And they were laughing even. So we can understand from this aspect, and Krishna is also joined them. Krishna is also laughing. So what we can understand, Krishna was not at all threatened with this act of Pundrika, while he was hilarious. Because there is a word called Alpamedha. What the understanding of Alpamedha means is small intelligence. A true intelligent person understands he's a part and parcel of Krishna. He understands that Krishna should be the center of his consciousness. While the small intelligent person always thinks that he is the doer, he is a proprietor, and he should be center. He should be in center always. And in text 8, Supreme Personality of Godhead, after enjoying the jokes of the messenger of the Pundrika, now he said, he passes message, you fool, I will indeed. So he's now replying to Pundrika's message. I will not let loose everything what you're requesting for, but definitely I will let loose my weapon. I will let loose my Sudarshan disc and kill you, behead your master. So Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, and that purport has been taken from the Krishna book. So I'll read out completely. O messenger of Pundrika, you may carry my message to your master. He is foolish rascal. I directly call him a rascal and I refuse to follow his instruction. I shall never give up the symbol of Vasudeva, especially my disc, but shall use my disc to kill him, behead him, and not only him, Pundrika, also his all followers. And I will destroy this Pundrika and his foolish associate. That is what Prabhupada mentioned in the verse, in the purport. In the text 9, now Krishna is saying, when you lie dead, now Krishna is replying because Pundrika mentioned to Krishna, you should take my shelter. Give up all these opulences and take my shelter. But now what Krishna is replying, you should, when you will lie down, when I kill you from my Sudarshan disc, then your body will become the food for vultures and jackals and dogs. Correct? So what is happening here? Pundrika demanding Krishna to take his shelter because he was boasting his, thing that he's so powerful. He's a supreme personality of Godhead. He's boasting on his body. Now Krishna is reminding him after that the same body will become the food for dogs and vultures. So whenever we are, feeling very arrogant, boastful, and someone remind about the death, at least for a minute we become humble. Or humility, maybe it's what we call it, I forgot the word, but yeah, we become humble for a certain period of time. If we attend someone's death ceremony, like death rituals, we become humble. It's a vairagya, lagu vairagya or false vairagya, I think. So yeah, so in the text 10, when the Lord, then after speaking that all message, then Lord, mounted on his chariot and went near to the Kashi, because at that time the Pundraka was living in the Kashi, because his friend Kashi Naresh was also was helping him out in this battle. It's going to be the battle, so he's going to help him. So he was living in the Kashi, and then Lord Krishna immediately started on his chariot to punish this rascal Pundrika, because Lord Krishna doesn't want that this delusion what his messenger passed to be spread out, and he wants to establish the dharma immediately. So he want to uphold the truth. That's why he want to kill Pundrika. Unnecessary, don't want to spread this rumor all around. Now in text 11, now Pundrika observed the Lord preparation. Then he also thought, okay, he also need to prepare. So he partnered with the Kashi Naresh king, and then he passed two military army, two Ashwini soldiers, a military army in front of him. Usually king lead the Ashwini armies, his soldiers, but in this time Pundrika requested army to go in front, and then he was going in back, and then his friend Kashi Naresh was leading three Ashwini armies. So total two Ashwini army, then Pundrika, then Kashi Naresh, and then three Ashwini armies of Kashi Naresh. So in this way, they are also going towards Krishna, and they are trying to fight with Krishna. Because Pundrika was driven by the false ego, and Pundrika was thinking that genuinely he was thinking in his heart that he could win this battle. But he was out of delusion. He was thinking that he will win, but he was not able to realize that he is digging a graveyard for himself. So in the last text 12 to 14, now Pundrika, first time when Lord Krishna saw the Pundrika, he was completely amazed, because Pundrika has completely imitated his dressing sense, his walking style. He was also wearing the yellow garments. He was also using the peacock feather. In his chariot also there was a flag, and in that flag Garuda's was imprint. And then he was also using the Kaustubha Jal, and he was having the Vajanti Mala. He was also using the shark shaped earring, and then tilak, similar way he was using the tilak, and then he was also having the fake two arm for Gada and Gada, Chakra, and Shanka, Padma. So he was completely resembling, and Lord was completely amazed by seeing that how much he imitated. So what we can see, Krishna does. So this is a very important learning. What we need to think about. Sometime I remember the one Prabhuji, Amog Leela Prabhuji used to call it, nowadays one can become a devotee in 500 rupees. He can take the white dhoti. He can buy the dhoti in 250 rupees and then kanthi mala, tilak, and japa mala, and he'll become a devotee. So sometimes people trying to dress up in the full devotional attire without a genuine surrender in their heart, and then they become the 500 rupees devotee because their intention is to cheat the public in general. But Krishna is never looking after what we are dressing up. Krishna is looking after our heart. Is our desires are genuine? Is our desire, is we are genuinely surrendering to Him? Is our love is genuine? If we are trying to fake up and showing our duplicit behavior, fake up in the society for the namesake, and internally lot of calm, krodh, lobh, bhai, mad, mas, a lot of planning and plotting is going on, but trying to showcase ourselves we are a great devotee. Krishna will, maybe we will cheat the people in general, cheat the devotee around us, but it will not help us our growth in Krishna consciousness, because our growth will be when our heart will be purified, because Krishna look straight into our heart, how much devotion we have for Krishna, how much love we have for Krishna. So couple of points we can take away. First thing, our role of association. Our association defined our personality, our consciousness. If we have a bad association, definitely it will lead our downfall. And then we should not show our false proprietorship in our day-to-day life, because we should understand we are a part and parcel of Krishna, and everything belongs to Krishna, and we are just a servant of Krishna. We should never imitate anyone. We can, sometimes people say like we can fake it. Yes, we can fake it, but fake it with the real intent, right intent. Yeah, we want to improve. In our heart, we are praying to Krishna. I'm trying to fake this thing because I want to improve. I want to improve. And we are having a heartfelt prayer to in the lotus feet of Krishna. Krishna, I'm not able to do this, but I'm trying to imitate because I want to improve. Please shower your mercy. If that is the intent, then that is the right intent. We can do that, and eventually Guru's mercy will come and we can improve. But we should never imitate with a duplicit intent to, cheat the people in general. We have seen this in India. Lot of people, we have a lot of gurus, fake gurus, lot of, you can see in the nook and corner of India, in many places, we have a many self-made God, correct? But their real intent is cheat the people in general, not to do some shower the mercy, because they are not there. So, and then power of mercy of Krishna. At the end of this chapter, Sukadeva Goswami mentioned, whoever heard this pastime, it will purify him, all the sin. And then Krishna, because this Pundrika was remembering Krishna day in, day out, but in the bad intent, but still Krishna is so merciful that Krishna delivered Pundrika as a, I think, Swarupya Mukti. So yeah, so these are the lessons we can take away out of this chapter, and then in next section we'll see how fight between Pundrika and Krishna happened, and how in the next set of chapter we'll see like when King of Kashiraj will killed by the Krishna, then how his son trying to take a revenge from Krishna. So I will pause here. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai. Vanchakalpa taru vriksha kripa sindhu adevicha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnebhyo namo namah. Please forgive me as your humble servant if I made any kind of mistake. Thank you so much, devotee. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hare Krishna Kirtan Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, devotee. Hare Krishna.